Hello and welcome to my channel. I am ZodiacBandit, and today there's going to be spoilers in this video, so click off if you're not caught up with Critical Role, which will be episode 36 of Campaign 3. So, if you haven't caught up, click off. You've got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. So, Laudna is currently dead, and her soul is being semi-trapped by Delilah, or being held captive by Delilah. And the Bell's Hells have gone into some sort of dreamscape via a spell from Pike Trickfoot, of all people, to go in and try to separate the two. So I want to talk about the two potential outcomes that I see happening if they are successful in separating her from Delilah in this dreamscape, and if they successfully revive her. There's actually, technically, based on that, there's 4 outcomes. 2 if they're able to successfully pull her away from it, and 2 if they're not. So, let's go with the first one. They're successfully able to separate the two and bring her back. So, with this, I think the first outcome is she comes back as a normal human being. She is now no longer undead or a hollowed one. She is in need of a new patron. She's not able to use any of her magic, and she is completely human, warm to the touch. This is the least interesting one in my opinion. Because part of the interest from the Laudna character is the way she acts when just surrounded by regular people as a dead character. So as far as storytelling goes, this, her becoming human once more, feels like a end game thing after they resolve everything they have to do in this campaign. And it feels like the final thing this group will do together as like a mass collective before they either retire together or split off and do random stuff by themselves and live their lives. This to me feels like an end game thing, not what's going to happen to this character now, because this character is far from done, and this feels like if she were to just be revived and become human again, that would be the end. That would be the end of the character, and Marisha has made it very clear that's not what she wants. She doesn't want this character to finish off, and to turn her human, to me, at the very least, feels like what would happen if she were, brought back like a human. It would be the end. So the other outcome is they're able to successfully bring her back and separate her completely from Delilah, and she is now still undead, but in need of a new warlock patron. Which, in my opinion, could lead to some sort of Ruidus connection, because everything seems to be surrounding Ruidus, so it would only make sense that Ruidus, or whatever god within Ruidus, might be watching these characters. To me, it makes sense that this figure or whatever is inside this cage on Ruidus might see an opportunity to make someone who is already decently, aware of what's going on / powerful, because she can certainly become super powerful if she wants to, and make them a Ruidus born. I believe that is a possibility. A Ruidus potential, warlock patron, or some other patron comes out of this. We don't know. Maybe the Changebringer, because it is now time for change. But I do believe that if she is successfully pulled away from Delilah completely, this is the pulled away completely from Delilah. That is another outcome that I can totally see. So then let's move on to if they're not able to fully separate her from Delilah. Delilah is still there, much like when, before she died. She is in the back of her head, but not in charge. I want to make that very clear. In all of these instances where they revive her, because Pike will not revive her if Delilah is the one being revived, she is still there. She's 100% still there in her head. So, in this instance, I don't see her becoming human at all. So, there is no human aspect. So then what happens? Well, status quo goes back to the way it was before. Like I said, there's 2 options here as well. She goes back to the way things were, and there's virtually no penalties to her being dead, and Delilah has to sort of work back toward potentially taking over her body at some point. And the last sort of situation is she comes back, but now there is much more control for Delilah. Like, she isn't fully separated from Delilah, and Delilah now has a lot more gateways, more openings to potentially return. I think this is likely the most plausible outcome. I don't think they're going to be able to fully separate her from Delilah. And I think there's another caveat that I could put on top of all this, and that is simply if Percy walks in during all this, during the revival portion, and Pike says that they weren't able to fully bring her, like, to separate them, but she was able to revive Laudna first. I think Percy kills her. I think Percy sees this person as a potential threat because Delilah is within her and just kills her dead, which I think is a possibility for the other one if she's just back to status quo as well. But I think if she is, like, weakened and is a lot more doors open for Delilah, Percy might just take this as an opportunity to just completely finish it off. No more revival for this character. You need to leave. I'm keeping this body sort of situation. Kind of making Percy a pseudo villain. He was an anti-hero before, but now he'd be kind of a villain in the Bell's Hell's Eyes, which I think is a total possibility of her being killed by him. So in the end, there was 5 possibilities. One where she's a normal person, and that's probably the end of the character. One where she is brought back as a hollowed one without Delilah and needs a new patron. One where everything's back to normal. One where she now has a lot more ways to be taken over by Delilah. And one where Percy kills her. So 5 in the end, because I decided to make one more up as I was making the video. So, yeah, there you go. 5 possible solutions or possible outcomes. Jeez, English is my first language, but you wouldn't believe it. 5 possible outcomes to this situation going on with Laudna. Technically, there's 6, which is she stays dead, which would always be sad, but it's technically a possibility. So, who knows? I personally believe that we're more likely to see her be revived in some sort of way because everyone's pushing for it super hard in the party, and Marisha herself is outright denying to make any, new art and even a new character. She has, like, ideas for new characters. I'm getting this information from the 4-sided dive episode they just did, where she revealed that the producers asked for ideas for her next character art, and she said no. I am not doing that until Laudna's possibilities are completely off the board, which I really appreciate. I think that is amazing, because according to her, not to throw anybody under the bus, but when Fern and Orm went down, Ashley and Liam already had backup characters made. So to have a dedication to this character is a great thing, because Laudna is my favorite character in this group. So seeing that the player has that much dedication, not that Ashley and Liam don't have dedication to their character, but they were ready to move on, which to me is kind of strange because I'm someone who gets attached to my characters. So, or super, super, super attached to my characters. And I partially believe Liam isn't as attached to this one as the others because he didn't make them an emotional heavy character. This one is more of a little bit lesser of an emotional character compared to Caleb and Vax. So, not to get off topic here, but I really appreciate Marisha not going into making a new character so soon. I think that it's cool to wait for your character to come back, especially because this is her best character to me. So it's very nice to see that she doesn't want to make any sort of moves toward another character. But with that being said, that's the video. One more thing, actually. Next Monday, so the 17th of October, 2022, is 1 year of me making these videos consistently, and I just want to thank everyone who's been here the whole time, because I think it'd be really cool, just to thank you all again and again and again, because when I first started making these videos, I had 25 subscribers, and now I'm at 368, I believe, and that number was never something I ever thought would be even close to what I'd ever get. This channel beforehand was just me uploading random crap, literally crap. It's just garbage. I've contemplated deleting it all, but it's still there. If you guys want to see how far I've grown, which isn't very far in my personal opinion, these videos could always be better. I could use a better editing software or a better microphone or whatever, but this, in my opinion, this channel has come a long way, has become way more focused on something, and it's something I really enjoy. Beforehand, I was just playing random ass games, trying to find something that's stuck, uploading random ass shit, and now I'm here. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching. Those who have been here since you were the 26th subscriber, even if you're one of the 25 beforehand, all of you after that, up to 368 or whatever we're at right now. Thank you all for being here, and I hope to make many more videos into the future. I'm not going anywhere. So, yeah. Oh, this campaign, next campaign, if there is a campaign 4. I think there is going to be a campaign 4, but, you know, that's not the point. The point is, thank you all for being here, and thank whoever comes later on in the future if you're not part of the 368 people who are here right now. So, sweet. See ya. Peace.